I am so happy I'm not in college right now because it's finals week for everybody. And it's just really nice to see everyone on Twitter going through that stress and not having to fucking deal with it. That said, I'm expected to be in classes in fall, so not looking forward to that. But oh well. Yesterday, I'm sure you heard about, there's a group called Shiny Hunters. Ooh, Pokemon, yay! But it's a little bit more nefarious than that. They hacked over 9,000 universities right at the peak of finals week, like on Thursday. Friday is usually when classes wrap up and close their exams, if not that Thursday, so students have Friday off. But they hacked the universities, about 9,000 universities across the US, and got access to a bunch of very sensitive data and took down the platform that those universities host called Canvas, which is where you're like DMing professors, interacting with other students, taking tests, taking quizzes, submitting assignments. All that junk is done through Canvas, the platform. And it was right at the peak of everyone's final week. So everybody's stressing out, and then boom, their entire thing goes down. They can't submit projects. They were offline for about almost 15, 16 hours. So people were stressing out about whether or not they were actually doing their assignments or submitting them on time or what's up. Because, everything's down. The Shiny Hunters is the name of the organization that hacked them. It's like a black hat hacker group that just goes after and tries to ransom or extort data and private information from companies. And then if the companies don't pay said ransom, they leak all the information and whatever publicly. The Shiny Hunters as a group specifically has been hacking people since 2019, I think I saw. And they've hacked some major places, not just these universities, although this is probably their biggest one, but they've also hacked Microsoft before. They've hacked Animal Jam, shout out. They've hacked AT&T, Ticketmaster, Harvard, SoundCloud, a lot more, Wattpad. But all of those were big historical hacks for them where they just ransomed a bunch of data that they got access to either by phishing or by however they went about it. But they got access to data, threatened the company to release all of it, and then kind of had a big upset about it. I didn't see, when I was doing my research about their background, any specifically super sensitive data that was groundbreaking that they had leaked, but they've been going strong for 7 years now, and they haven't been caught or stopped or whatever. So I don't think they're going to stop, especially with this one being this big. Every single, so many universities. Harvard, I would like to stress, got hacked as well, which is kind of insane because the entire school system that's using Canvas must have such a stressed out cybersecurity team right now. I feel so bad for them. They're just staring at, it's like the guy staring at the servers. This specific hack was targeted at names, email addresses, private messages between students and professors and other students, and student IDs. All of that shit is located in Canvas, the platform. So the universities obviously have a duty to protect that information. So that's kind of what was being threatened specifically. And this is the message that Shiny Hunters sent out. And this is what came up, I guess, when you pulled up Canvas or somewhere behind the scenes of whatever. But people were sent this message whenever trying to access it, being hey, pay us or negotiate or communicate with us, or everything's gone. Everything's gone. So I can't imagine that's very good if absolutely everything goes out into the public. And I've seen people making jokes of, I used to send my nudes on Canvas. What's going to happen if they don't pay their rent? And come on. Why are you... Whatever. Bit or not, the idea of that is wildly entertaining. I've also seen that a bunch of people have had their final exams can't completely canceled, postponed, or they're doing it in completely different ways. A bunch of professors sent out emails saying, hey, I know it's down, but you got to still submit shit. And they send an email link saying this is still due at the exact same date. And a bunch of people are groaning about still having to do their assignments. I feel bad, but also, come on. If I was a professor, though, I'm absolutely canceling everything. Depending on the class, I guess, depending on what I teach. But I would personally probably cancel absolutely everything I had planned because just sort it out. It's already stressful enough. Fuck it. You're at the end of the semester. Pass. You're good. Apparently, according to them, they have 200 million files. Now that could be literally anything, but 200 million is still a big wow number where people are okay, they might It might be furious. But they have 2,000 files of private data on all students and staff that are throughout all 9,000 universities. So that's the exact, like, what they're threatening to release, along with all the other stuff. As far as right now, I'm pretty sure Canvas is back up, which is good, kind of for students that need to actually be students, and bad for students that are hoping for an out. But Canvas is still up right now, and it looks like the outage lasted about 6 hours nationwide, and it came back up really, really late last night. So while the outage has been roughly about 6 hours of not being able to even get into Canvas, like the blackout of like in a bunch of universities posted this message, like this one from the University of Oklahoma exclaiming like, do not log in. It is still very sensitive. And that's still going on like 16 hours later. So it's still very, very sensitive that it's important that people don't log in, because I guess the cybersecurity teams don't know if they still have access to everything, or if they're still in control, or what they do and don't have control over or access to, blah, 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 blah. But they're still saying don't log into this bullshit, which is crazy. Again, during finals week, the peak of your semester, people are graduating off these finals. So they picked a time. Like, this would have been very, very important no matter when they did it, or very like news article gathering no matter when they did it. But finals week is brutal. I thought this was really neat because it means that, because I got to like kind of dodge a bullet not being in class right now. That's kind of sick. I'm very happy that I'm not in class, because I don't really want to deal with this. I just looked to see if there's any new, like, right now news, and Shiny Hunters had just released this, where they're saying they released a press statement because of all of the media attention this guy and how big it has gotten over like social media and everything. They basically just said, yeah, we're not commenting on this. Nah. But yeah, besides that like public statement that they were put out, there's nothing really else that's developed from this. I'm not a professional. I don't know whether they're supposed to pay a ransom or just like go into like the criminal investigation immediately off of how to prevent this and how they got access to it, whatever. But very, very cool to see how it's being dealt with, because Canvas is back online, but they're working on it, which was very cool. I thought this was going to be out for a lot longer. I genuinely did. I thought people would be a little bit more screwed over than this, but it seems okay. So I just thought that was really cool, because I'm not in classes right now. Shout out. I'm very, very happy to be not in and enduring this bullshit right now. That's great. So yeah, if you like the video, hello again for day 5. That's pretty cool. That's pretty neat. Day 5. That's dope. Look, he thinks it's cool. Junimo. Hey. No, he's an idiot, but thank you for watching.